Step 4. Everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up.
Welcome all to On the Field, Off the Field, a podcast presented to you by ASE Sports. And I am your host, G Watts, a.k.a. G Dub, a.k.a. The Voice, coming to you live from Blythewood, South Carolina. I'm very excited to be here with you on the next episode. And I am also excited because on this particular episode, I'm looking to have my first ever guest on the show, a former coworker and current friend, Kenneth J. Bradley. So I'll look to speak with him toward the end of the show here. We'll, just have a quick Q&A just to pick his brain on some of the topics that we'll talk about today. But before we get going, just a little bit more about ASE Sports. We do specialize in consulting services for athletes, sports managers, and even sports organizations, just to help them evolve their overall processes and procedures to see success in the sports industry. If you feel like we can be of assistance to you, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can reach out to us via our primary website and also on our social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Definitely would be happy to hear from you. So now to jump into the episode, I definitely look to try to make it a quick one for us today. We'll jump into the NBA, cover some NBA news. As everyone know, the NBA kicked off its summer league play July 12th. And with that, we have been able to gauge the level of play of some rising stars as just about 30 NBA teams are actively evaluating not only the top rookies, but also undrafted players and younger veterans who are fighting to make an NBA roster spot. The hometown Miami Heat, they have been performing well in this year's summer league. Currently, they are 4-0 in the Las Vegas division. In the off season, the Miami Heat, they didn't make too many roster moves. There was no major free agent signings. The only major trade that we did make before February 8th of 2024 was for Terry Rozier, which was a great trade, by the way. Now, one particular point I want to talk about with Miami is with the 15th overall pick in the 2024 draft. As we know, they drafted Kel'el Ware out of Indiana. On my last episode, I was hoping that Miami was leaning toward drafting Zach Edey, but that didn't happen. But at the end of the day, can't be too mad because first and foremost, one thing I did see was that Zach Edey, he was halted early by an ankle injury, which caused him to miss several games in the summer league. And Kel'el Ware, excuse me if I'm mispronouncing that, he has been performing very well. He's been impressive on tape. He is a 7-footer, so he does have good height, and that's one thing I wanted us to get in Zach Edey. So I'll take that. He moves very well for a big man. Looks like he is light on his feet, so that's definitely great. And also, I did see that he shoots very well. I think he even hit a three-pointer in one of the highlights that I was taking a look at. So now for Ware, I would like to see him bulk up on his frame some. Now he's listed at 7 foot 240, and of course he could definitely add more muscle to his frame. Not so much so weight. I definitely would just like to see him kind of just like really tone up, similar to how Bam Adebayo did, coming from his rookie year to where he is now. So just so a little bit more about Ware. Looks like in 4 games he played in the summer league, Ware has averaged 26 minutes. 17.3 points per game. He's been shooting 60% from the field, and he's also averaging 8.8 rebounds and 2 blocks per game. So as a rookie, and I know it's the summer league, but at the end of the day, those are some numbers that you would like to see out of a rookie. And I think looking at that, he might make a impact early on for the Miami Heat. I could see him potentially playing this year, but also I could see Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra potentially, keeping him maybe a two-way player from, going to the G League back to, the Heat's roster. So just to continue to give him that development. But I am definitely happy about that particular pick and Kyle Ware. So hats off to Miami for that. Also, with the 43rd pick, looks like Miami drafted Nikola Drusic. Excuse me if I mispronounced that. But they also sent him to Atlanta, and they acquired Pele Larson through that particular trade. So looks like Pele Larson, he's averaging just over 9 points per game in the summer league. He looks like he's shooting 39% from the field, which is, I guess you want to see that number a little bit higher for him. But like I said, it is the summer league. It is early on. So he's averaging 3.8 rebounds and 3 assists per game. Now, I did watch a little film on Pele, and, he didn't look too bad. Looks like he drives to the hole very well. Looks like he does have an outside shot that he could build upon. So I'm not too mad about that pickup for Miami. Even if I was mad, I guess probably not much I could do anyway. But that definitely was a good pickup for Miami there. So I am excited to see the two rookies, see kind of what Miami has in store for them as far as their roles entering the 2024-2025 season. Let's see here. Also, looks like Jaime Jaquez Jr., he's continuing to improve and impress in this year's Summer League. He's looking like he's priming himself to enter his second year as a key player in the Miami offense. Jaime Jaquez was, he's already good for being able to spread the floor with his smooth inside and outside game. But looks like one thing I guess individuals didn't expect was for him to be competing in the Summer League. But looks like based on his statement, Jaquez said there's nothing better than getting reps in. And I think that was like, that was a great statement to make, basically showing his mentality of how he's approaching, his career at this point. And it's only his second season. So, but he definitely said there's nothing better than getting reps, and I guess he also stated whether it's competing with Team USA or in the Summer League, those are game reps, and he's basically happy and grateful to be able to have them. So I definitely respect Jaime Jaquez, just for, like I said, the way he's approaching his career. I'm definitely excited to see what he brings to the table in his second season in Miami. So, and it looks like we're not too far off with October right around the corner. So let's see what else here we got. Just to cover a little bit of numbers for Jaime. Looks like he exceeded every expectation that people had of him. Looks like in 2 of his summer league outings, as of this recording at least, he's averaging 26 points per game, 8 rebounds. He's shooting 58% from the field. He's 43% from 3-point range, and he's 81% from the free throw line. So it looks like he's like basically dominating the summer league. These all grown men. They're getting paid some form and fashion, but like I said, it's just his approach to the game right now shows he's hungry. And like I said, I think he's going to be, a key asset in, how far Miami goes this year. Like I said, paired up with guys like Terry Rozier and Jimmy Butler, Nikolai Jovic, excuse me, Bam Adebayo, just kind of like, like I said, I think we're going to have a solid team as long as everyone stay healthy, of course. I think we're going to be coming into this season with a solid team that's going to really push us toward playoff competition. Also, one of the more interesting storylines of this year's Summer League, it does come by way of Bronny James. He's the son of future Hall of Famer LeBron James, of course. As we know, Bronny went into cardiac arrest, which was caused by a congenital heart defect that Bronny had. Although He played with 1 season at USC. He came back like 5 months later after that incident with him going into cardiac arrest. Came back like 4 months later, excuse me, I believe it was. He played 1 season at USC, and he entered the draft. So, as we all probably know, Bronny was drafted 55th overall by the Lakers, who's also his dad's team. And it's funny because, from people I talk to and from articles I've read, everybody is just kind of amazed at the power. I mean, some people not amazed. Some people are actually kind of like, kind of happy to see it in a sense, you know what I mean? But the power that LeBron holds, his influence that he holds kind of as a Laker and just as a player. It was funny because one article called them the Los Angeles LeBrons, and I thought that was pretty funny. And give me one moment. I also saw another article in which his agent, Rich Paul, he made a statement to teams that they better not I think it was like they better not draft Bronny, because if they do, then it didn't say if it was Bronny or LeBron, would go play overseas or something like that. I know it's an article out there if you look it up, but I thought that was just funny seeing, I mean, it's feasible, I guess, to see, feasible and funny to see Bronny, kind of get drafted to the Lakers. And of course, everybody was looking at that storyline of him and LeBron being the first father-son combo to play on the same team and at the same time in the NBA. So, I mean, that is going to be interesting to see. But, I mean, it's just one thing to take into consideration is that, obviously, Bronny's, health concerns as well as his injury concerns, compared to LeBron coming out of high school, I think LeBron is definitely in a different mindset, a different level of, physicality or athletic. He has a different level of athleticism than his dad did. LeBron, when he came out, it was almost like you knew LeBron was going to make some type of impact. But, Bronny just doesn't remind me of, how hungry LeBron was when he came out. Not saying he's a bad player, but like I said, I mean, I really feel like, Bronny was just kind of given this opportunity. It wasn't really earned, So I don't know how that's going to impact his level of play. You got some scouts who say they see a lot of good in him. Some scouts and some people, obviously, they're saying he sucks, basically, for lack of better terms. But my hope for Bronny is that he does do good. But let's keep in mind that this is a business. So say, they play 1 year, LeBron retires, and Bronny doesn't do well. Of course, we might not see Bronny have as long of a career as LeBron. I really don't think that's going to be possible. So, but of course, Bronny might develop. He might come into his, come of age, and, he might dominate the league. Who knows? Only time will tell in that regard. But, I mean, looking at some of Bronny's stats out of the Summer League, looks like in 5 games, he averaged about 6 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 1 steal per game while shooting just over 32% from the field. Looks like he was 0 for 15 from three-point range over his first 4 games. So it looks like the Lakers are 3-2 in the Vegas division. So, I mean, like I said, only time will tell. Like I said, you just got to keep in mind, like, where's Bronny's mentality at? How bad do he want this? Or will he be halted by, past injuries, such as, like I said, him going into cardiac arrest? Looks like he also had multiple knee injuries from tearing his meniscus in high school to actually sitting out a recent Summer League game due to a knee injury. So looks like he's going to have to show that he can stay healthy to be a factor for LA in any type of way, most likely as a role player to start. So, but like I said, best of luck to him. Like I said, I ain't gonna, I ain't gonna doubt him like that. I ain't gonna down him. I ain't got nothing against him. So, like I said, I'm just anxious to see kind of what he does. Just let's see how far he takes it. All right. Now, with that, what we're gonna do, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back with On the Field, Off the Field, presented to you by ASE Sports.
Today's gonna be a good day. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some confidence.
Welcome back, everybody, to On the Field, Off the Field, presented to you by ASE Sports. And, of course, I am your host, G Watts, a.k.a. G-Dub, a.k.a. The Voice, coming to you from Blythewood, South Carolina. And getting right back into it, we'll still stay with the NBA. It was one article that I saw, a particular topic that I wanted to kind of talk about here today. And it's in regards to basically some critics voicing their dislike for the NBA's new media deal. Now, this is something that's kind of, not only affecting just kind of on the court activities, but of course off the court activities as well, as far as contracts, things of that nature go. And like I said, I did want to kind of try to focus on those particular topics as well. So something like this will affect, like they say, it's going to affect the league, it's going to affect owners, it's going to affect the players, some for better, some for worse, it seems like, based on kind of what I've read. So what it says here is the new deal is set to include partnerships with Disney, who is also ESPN, NBC, and Amazon, and it's basically worth $76 billion over 11 years. Basically, Adam Silver, he stated this particular deal, he sees it, I ain't gonna say he stated, I'm not gonna quote that, but basically he's assuring that that player salaries will continue to rise based on this particular deal, and also it will change how some viewers access games for years to come. And like I said, I don't want to quote the man on that. I think I actually pulled that from somewhere else, but basically I just want to kind of read through that again. This particular deal will assure player salaries will continue rising for the foreseeable future, but it will also change how some viewers access games for years to come. Now I forgot who it was. I think is the owner for the Knicks. I forgot his name. I'm not going to pull it up right now, but basically, he was upset. I saw he wrote a letter to the NBA, basically voicing his criticisms over the deal, and what he kind of felt. And based on what I was seeing, I tried to do a little bit of research, and it basically says that one criticism over the deal is how it will affect the ability of regional sports networks to effectively market their product to their customers. So, I mean, for regional sports networks, I had to look that up to kind of, get a better understanding. I kind of had an idea of what it was, but when you think about them, if you are familiar with networks such as Bally Sports, Bally Sun Sports, the Yes Network, or the MSG Network for my people up north, New Jersey, New York, up that way. You want to envision those particular networks who are able to deliver, televised NBA games to their, local markets, basically. From my experience, what it was back in the day. It was like I tell people, man, I was able to watch as a kid. We had like the basic of cable. We didn't have the box. We didn't have no Nickelodeon channels when my mom, was still alive. We just had the basic cable. UPN. You get the Christian channel. Fox. ABC. But one thing was I know, they always televise Miami Heat games and Miami Dolphins games, like I said, which is how I became a fan, just from being able to watch those teams from a young age. So um, now, we might not have gotten like, obviously, I mean, all the games, but for the most part, if you're in a particular region, you know, these regional sports networks, um, they basically are able to televise, like I said, major games, um, or just an average game to their local market, so looks like the owner of the Knicks, he was upset because basically he's saying that it's gonna, I guess based on the team having to match the deal. If they don't match the deal, looks like they're going to be cut out of the deal. So, I mean, I don't know. I didn't read too much more into kind of how that's going to affect, like their ability to really televise NBA games. So I heard TNT might be out of the mix. That if they don't match the particular numbers that ESPN and Disney threw out or Amazon threw out, whatever, whatnot, that they won't be a part of the deal. So that's going to be interesting to see. As I said, TNT has been a long time partner with the NBA, as we know, covering a lot of the playoffs as well as regular season games. So, but yeah, y'all go check that out, man. Y'all pull that up. Leave a comment. If feel free, let me know what you think. If you want to try to discuss that more, definitely let me know. So, but yeah, that was a big story in the NBA there. Uh, like I said, they say it's going to affect player salaries. It's going to help push their salaries up, but also, like they said, it's going to affect the way other teams are able to televise to their local markets, as well as how they earn revenue, how much revenue they earn. So, when it comes to, obviously the money, there's always going to be an issue. So I'll look more into it. I'll try to get back to you guys with some more information about this, and I'll try to keep up to date with it in the near future. So um, let's see. Looks like we're coming to the close of our NBA segment. Um, one more notable topic is, or that I saw, was that Kobe Bryant's father, Joe Bryant, passed away at age 69. It was new to me because I didn't know that his dad had such an extensive history as a player as well as a coach in the NBA and the WNBA. So definitely rise in peace. My prayers to the family. And yeah, so let me take a sip of water real quick. Give me one moment. Yeah, I noticed, man, if y'all saw the last episode, you'll notice that this episode I'm only doing voice. I really wanted to try to get it done and get it out. So I ain't do no, share your screen and, look through, different stuff. So like I said, I'm still trying to find my niche as far as how I'm going to really present it. So right now, I feel like the most simplest way is, kind of just, talking through it, give you a little graphic to, kind of, keep it going. So, and then as, time goes on, hopefully as I uh, build my skills up. I learn, other ways and methods. Of course, obviously coming on camera, but I definitely want to get a whole setup for that. I don't want to, kind of just jump on camera with any type of random background. I definitely want to get a nice, legitimate setup. So just bear with me there. And like I said, I just hope you guys enjoy the little graphic that I put up for you. So, uh, all right, man. So next, we'll jump into the NFL. Um, the NFL is just about back in full effect. Training camp did start this past Thursday, with the Houston Texans being the first team to kick it off. Let's see. Of course, there's a lot of notable rookies looking to take the stage, including athletes such as Bo Nix Jr., Caleb. I'm tongue tied here, y'all. My bad, man. Caleb Williams, Drake May, Marvin Harrison Jr. Looks like Xavier Worthy. There's a lot of notable rookies that everyone is, excited to kind of see what they're going to be bringing to the table for their team. So looks like the hometown Miami Dolphins. They'll start their training camp on July 23rd. Taking a look at their offseason, there was a lot of notable departures as well as a lot of notable additions to the roster. As a lot of people know, we lost guys like Xavier Howard. We lost Robert Hunt. I mean, we lost a good amount of our starters, especially from the defensive side of the ball. But we are, returning a good amount of starters on the offensive side of the ball, which is a great thing. And we are, kind of looks like they're just kind of putting different pieces together on the defensive side of the ball. I saw a lot of 1 year or short-term contracts signed with a lot of the players that joined the team, during the offseason. So looks like they're going to be trying to just put different pieces in place to try to fill out what we lost in the defense from last year. I gotta check on him, but look, if y'all remember, Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips went down with injuries toward the end of the season last year. So I saw an article. I didn't read it, but I saw the title. It just basically said something like they are on the physically unprepared to perform or the PUP list, but we shouldn't worry. Looks like it should be expected based on the process or the time frame in which the Dolphins are trying to, get these guys back healthy. So, so definitely going to look more into that as well and try to get back with you with the update there. Let's see. Of course, in Miami, another major storyline is the contract negotiations that's going on with the team and Tua Tagovailoa, who is entering his 5th season as a as a Dolphin. So I read articles saying that Tua might be looking for a new contract, obviously more money. And there's arguments being made that, Trevor Lawrence and Jared Goff, they are shifting the market based on the contracts that they got. I think I saw it was about $55 million per year that they're getting. Now I'm kind of torn about that part only because, Trevor Lawrence is not bad, but come on now, really. I don't think he has really, provided that, that type of performance to me, at least, that would say, hey, he deserves to be one of the highest paying quarterbacks, one of the highest paying players in the NFL right now. Like I said, not saying that, the organization might see something in him or see more in him, of course, because they are hands-on with him. And I can't lie, I don't even follow Trevor Lawrence like that, but I just, I kind of, remember a lot of, his performances from some games last season. So, Jared Goff, obviously, I think he earned, he earned such a contract. He's out there in Detroit based on his performance, not just with them, but also, with other teams. I think Jared Goff has really kind of earned that particular contract. So, but it looks like they're saying Tua might be kind of basing now his decision off of what they are kind of, doing in the market, the numbers that they are getting. So, and obviously Miami will have to kind of say, hey, that's what, yeah, we'll pay you that, or hey, we're not going to pay you that. And of course, everybody's saying that Miami, they want Tua, they want to retain Tua. Honestly, in my opinion, I can't say that Tua might be our future or our franchise quarterback, or the quarterback of the future. I'm not knocking him. He's pretty good, but let's remember they did put key places around him in Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, of course, Raheem Mostert, still trying to build the lineup, but they have put key pieces in place that has allowed Tua to excel. Now, without those key pieces, we've seen Tua kind of fold. And, not like I said, I'm not knocking him, man, but, real is real. So let's take a look. Now, Tua led the league in passing, last year. He did command a high-power offense. But like I said, I'm just not sure that he will be our future quarterback. My argument there is he has to play better, especially against teams that are above 500. And of course, the whole team does, not just Tua, because of course it is a team effort. But at the end of the day, I've seen Tua fold in those games, and the games against teams, last year, Baltimore, Philly, obviously every team that we needed to beat, whether it was to help us on the division level or the conference level, or overall, we didn't beat those teams. And we showed out against the teams, obviously, like they said, who were under 500. So, but like I say, yeah, it does seem like Tua folds in those particular games. So he's going to have to show me a little bit more, like I said, a little better performance when it comes to playing the premier teams in the NFL. So also news from Miami. Looks like the Dolphins have hired a new defensive coordinator in Anthony Weaver. Weaver comes to Miami from conference rival, the Baltimore Ravens, where he served as not only the defensive line coach, but also an assistant head coach. He was a potential head coach candidate. He was a potential head coach candidate, and it looks like he does bring a good amount of experience as well as leadership to the defense. Looks like one thing I read when I was, doing my little research here with about Anthony Weaver is that he's looking to use Jalen Ramsey in multiple ways or multiple positions, almost like a chess piece, as they stated. And it looks like, Ramsey was excited at that particular idea. So I'm excited to see kind of how Weaver's going to approach this season with the defense. Of course, like I said, with a lot of our departures, a lot of the guys that we lost, but also a lot of the guys that we kept and that we gained. I'm anxious to see because, in my eyes, Miami not always had a great defense, but we've been known to have good defense. If anything, so I want to see us get back on top. Like I said, I think we did well last year, but we could have did way better. But like I say, yeah, I am excited to see what Anthony Weaver brings to the table. Speaking to his leadership, looks like he's already coming in trying to make a splash. It looks like they said basically he's looking to or what he does is he organizes staff basketball games for the purposes of staff bonding. So that was pretty cool to hear. I'm pretty sure that's going to affect how the players bond as well. So that's good to hear and see that he's coming in early, trying to make an imprint on the organization, from the staff to the players. And like I said, I hope we see that transition on the field this year. So I didn't grab a lot more information about the Dolphins. Like I said, training camp is about to start. We'll let them get into it. And I'll do more research on kind of what's going on in Miami in that particular case and get back to you. Last but not least, looks like former Dolphin Kenyon Drake is retiring after 8 seasons. I did see that come across the ticker. Drake played for the Dolphins and several other notable NFL teams prior to this retirement. For anybody who remember Kenyon Drake, I remember I used to play with him on Madden. I think it was 2018. Was it 20? No, it might have been 2012. Excuse me. I don't know. It might have been 2018. I got to look at that, man. But I used to play with him on Madden. I remember. I forgot who the other back was, but we had 2 backs. Drake was one of them. I'm going to look that up, too. I'm going to give you that answer. At least, I got to at least give you the answer to show you that I'm not lying about that. But for those who remember Drake, he was a solid dual threat running back. Whether it was short yardage or long yardage, he was the type of back. He was a big, fast back where, he did a lot for the Dolphins. He was a workhorse for the Dolphins. I was, excited to have him as part of our organization. Loved playing with him on Madden. But yeah, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I gotta look that up, man. But yeah, taking a look at some of his stats, looks like he rushed for over 3,800 yards and 33 touchdowns. And he also had another 1,600 plus yards and 8 touchdowns coming off of catches. So I mean, he had a spectacular career. Like I said, basically his prime years were in Miami and Arizona. Then he kind of bounced around to other teams. He still made an impact, but not as much as he did with the Dolphins and the Cardinals. So definitely respect to him. Hope he have a great retirement. I think he made a good choice. He did 8 seasons. He knew when it was time to say, hey, enough is enough. And I think a lot of players should also, be mindful of that. Hey, you don't got to play 12, 13 seasons in the league, especially if your body's saying that you can't. Not saying that his body was, but set a goal for yourself. Hey, maybe you could do 7 to 8 seasons. Earn enough, accomplish enough to say, hey, that's enough for me. I know players who they retired, less than 8 seasons. Let's put it like that. They retired in less than 8 seasons. So, for a variety of reasons, I'm pretty sure, whether good or bad. But I mean, this sounds like a good retirement for Kenyon Drake. Like I said, after 8 seasons, he just kind of knew, hey, it's time for him to kind of follow another path in his life. So, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a great one. Like I said, he had a great career, and I'm pretty sure he did well for himself as well. So definitely shout out to Kenyon Drake. And it had to be, it probably, how was it? It had to be 2018, man. Yeah, it had to be 2018. Dang, who was the other running back that year, man? If y'all don't mind, let me try to search that up real quick, man. And jumping out of the NFL, man, we basically going to jump to the WNBA real quick. Not too much to really talk about, but it's something that me and my coworker Miss Sharon kind of spoke about. One of the obviously hot topics in the WNBA is kind of what's going on with like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and the rivalry that they got going, and how Angel is purposely doing this. You see a lot of that conversation going on, and my thing is I think basically people are over exaggerating the rivalry in itself. I understand, obviously, their relationship from playing in college, but obviously, even then, it's a competitive sport. And of course, they're on a big stage, as far as the media wise go. So, a lot of the young athletes, what I mean, they got a lot of confidence, they got a lot of swag. They learned from athletes prior to them, how to kind of, celebrate and show that, that, hey, I'm the one, I'm that one, that you got to beat. So, but like I said, a lot of people do over exaggerate the conversation between the rivalry with Angel and Caitlin. And I mean, in my eyes, they're both doing very well. I really don't see, like I said, I don't really see no bad blood there. I mean, it's certain things I mean, people make things about race, about opportunity, this and that. And of course, this is America. I'm not going to say that, a lot of things like that, like racial barriers still don't exist. I'm not going to say that, but at the end of the day, just speaking to both of those young women, as well as others other rookies in the WNBA, I think they've been handling the situation well. They're doing what they need to do on the court as well as off the court. I think they're saying a lot of the right things. Even if a little bit of it comes with a little bit of cockiness, I'm cool with that. Like I said, this is a competitive sport. I mean, when you look at the stats too, I mean, Angel Reese, she up to this point or this particular recording, she was averaging 13.5 points per game, 12 rebounds. That's a double right there. She had 1.8 assists and 1.5 steals to go with that. Caitlin Clark is averaging 17.1 points per game and 5.8 rebounds per game. One of her biggest attributes, she's averaging 8.2 assists per game. So, I mean, And she also Caitlin also recorded her first triple double as a rookie a couple of weeks ago. I also saw that. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think they are, still, they're doing a great job of staying focused on what they really, need to accomplish, which is, building up the WNBA as a whole. Like they said, to bring more revenue, bring more eyes, more opportunity on the women, because I think they do compete at a high level. I mean, one of the main differences you don't see in some of the games is that they're dunking more often than the men. So I could, I don't mind watching, a WNBA game. Like I said, I know how, like I said, when it comes to the money, everybody want to make sure their pockets is cool before they really distribute it out to anybody else. Um, I mean, one important fact to note is that the WNBA didn't, or they haven't turned a profit since they've been, or since they have started. So, or there's, since they've been established, which is crazy to, see. So it's good to see that they're still going, but hopefully, like they say, you know, just through, even if it's through the current rookies, of course, there's a lot of great veterans, but they continue. What we want to see is them continue to build up the overall association. So, yeah, everybody get paid, man. That should be, like I said, what it's all about, man. Not what it's all about. I ain't gonna say it like that. You definitely want to have fun. You want to make a social impact. But when it comes to your career, man, you got to make sure you're getting paid too. So, um, definitely shout out to Angel Reese. Definitely shout out to Caitlin Clark. Um, one other thing I did talk to my coworker about and sharing was that one something that people don't talk about with Angel Reese is what she is doing off the court. She has a lot of uh, um, current business ventures that she's in. Um, she's doing a lot for her community. Like I said, like she's investing. So I'm like, if anything you want to talk about anything, you definitely could talk about that, but you don't see a lot of YouTube shorts or YouTube videos about that. You don't see a lot of news stories or any media about that, like, about all the positive things that she's doing. So it'd be great to, kind of focus on that part as well, because when I did look it up, and I encourage you all to look up kind of what Angel Reese is doing outside of basketball. And like I said, she's doing some great things. So definitely good to see. That's something that, like I said, a lot of athletes should try to hone in on, man. Basically, finding ways to make money for you. Being able to set yourself up financially in a positive way. So once your playing career is over, you don't got to worry about trying to transition into your post career without the necessary funds or resources that you might need after whatever team you're playing for stops cutting your check. So definitely look out, pay attention to Angel. She's doing some big things there. So all right, man. So we're reaching the end of our show. Um, Before we close out, man, I don't know if y'all saw, man. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all saw, of course. I'd be the only one living under a rock. But college football, the NCAA football 25 is out. Uh, my friend got it. Looks pretty good. Looks clean and crisp. Um, you know, Definitely going to get it. That's on my list of games to get. Now, it's definitely exciting to see that they dropped this, because, as a player in college back at Rutgers myself, we really didn't have that particular opportunity to kind of say, really, I want to say, be a part of the game. They had us in the game, but, they didn't have our name. We were basically a number. They had, they didn't have the exact information, like, say, about our hometown. They have like another place in Florida. But one thing we knew, and how we knew that it was us, because of our numbers, so, number 92, number 56, number 90, number 26, number, 36, we knew, hey, if I'm number 92 from Florida, that's me, so, um, we wasn't able to earn off of that particular game. I don't know if anybody remembers. Some people might remember when there was a class action lawsuit put out against EA Sports for that, because they actually made that game still using our name, image, and likeness, but we received no compensation for it. So crazy to say is that out of that class action lawsuit, I only received a $20 check. So yeah. um, but I definitely wish we had the same experience as these athletes now. Um, but one thing I thought about was the numbers, because when I looked at the game and I saw the price tag, how much it costs, especially like the deluxe edition, sitting at like $99, basically $100. I think one of their editions is like 100 and something dollars. And of course, I think the standard game is like $70. Um, but just based on me kind of thinking about the numbers with that, I did a little bit of research, and I just kind of want you to check these numbers out. Um, and this is just basically tying into basically my thought process is I wonder how much these athletes are getting paid for being in the college football game, because it's a popular game. And I'm like, dang, they probably getting, paid. They're probably getting paid off that. All right, give me one moment. Let me take a sip of water before I get going there. Mm. Mm. So basically, check this out. There was a total of 11,390 college football players from 134 schools who were eligible to receive $600 from EA Sports, and 11,000 accepted. All right. So y'all, I mean, based on how I read it, and I, read multiple articles, each player got paid $600 for their name, image, and likeness to be in the new NCAA College Football 25 game. So I'm thinking like, okay, but I got to that number because I saw some information that said that EA Sports, they received $200 million in pre-orders for the game. So I'm like, okay, well, dang, $200 million. Each player got $600. So I, did my math there, and I'm like, okay, well, that gives you, dang, so it's 333,333 players in college that's on the game that's getting paid. And of course that number wasn't accurate, because you got to think about expenses that's going to be taken out anyway. But just to get an idea of how many players I thought was on the game, maybe 100,000, something like that. I don't know, maybe 90,000. But like I said, come to find out, only 11,000 players participated, and 11,000 players participating at a rate of $600 per player. That equates to $6.6 million that went to the players. Also, I heard they said the players also got a free copy of the game. Now, yeah, if you kind of say they got a free copy of that game and they gave them the deluxe edition for $100, that's another $1.7 million that you add onto that. Now, like I said, I'm from what I read, it looks like it was only a one-time $600 payment. I don't know if it's every year. I mean, even if it is every year, if you look at the numbers, basically from $200 million that EA Sports had in pre-orders, the $200 million that they made, basically 193 million goes to EA Sports. If you take that 6.6 million or that 7 point something million dollars, that's going to the players. Now, like I said, if it's a one-time thing to the players, that's crazy, because like, what if EA Sports made $500 million off that game? And basically at one time, 7 point something million goes to the players. EA Sports, they'll make 492 million. And like I said, that's, obviously if they don't sell more than that. So I just thought it was crazy to see that, that, the players only got paid $600 for their contribution to the game. I hope there's some type of residual that's involved in that. I don't know. We'll see. I'll do some more research there. But yeah, I just thought that was crazy. So I wanted to kind of throw that out there. So All right, and with that, we'll go ahead and call it a wrap. I really appreciate everybody tuning in to this episode, whether now or in the future. I do apologize. I wasn't able to get my guy Jay Bradley on for this episode, so I look forward to having him on another episode down the road. And I also look forward to bringing you more relevant and exciting content. So definitely bear with me as I continue to try to pick up speed with this podcast thing. I know it's a lot of them out there, a lot going on, especially within the sports world. So, but I'm gonna continue to try to do my own thing and just kind of keep it going in my own way, but just always improving any way I can. So feel free to provide me with any feedback. I definitely would appreciate that. Like I say, like and subscribe on the page or the channel. Follow ASE Sports on our social media platforms. And like I said, man, I'm still looking to grow. Right now, it's not much like really pumping right now, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's just me doing it right now. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to the growth. So, yeah, I just remember this time where I was at, and we'll look forward to seeing where I'm at, a few years down the road, and we'll make sure we touch base, on that growth. So, hey, remember, showing up shows you care. So try to show up for those who you care about. All right. And this has been another episode of On the Field, Off the Field, presented to you by ASE Sports. And I am your host, G Watts, a.k.a. G Dub, a.k.a. The Voice, signing off from Blythewood, South Carolina. Everybody enjoy the week and take care. Be safe. Peace.
I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.